Shekinah's question, she asked about essentially how do you create good relationships with folks when you're being the spokesperson. And I think that this is kind of undergirded by, we have people who represent diverse populations, and our community is definitely wrapping their arms around them, and it puts them in a challenging scenario. And this could be intersected with race, this could be intersected with gender, it could be intersected with religion. But how do you still have those relationships, genuine relationships with people, when you're asked to be the spokesperson? And sometimes you may always feel like you're on. We'll start with Reyma on this one.
Yeah, this is, I thank you, Shekinah, for asking this question. It's an amazing question. And I want to reiterate something that I said previously about the default setting for our society. It's white, middle class, male, female binary, straight, heterosexual presenting, Christian, so on and so forth. So the further removed a person is from that default setting, the more vulnerable we are to being in situations where we potentially can be tokenized and sought out for our guidance with regards to a population that we're a part of. And that's very deeply frustrating. It can also be very traumatizing, though, and that's something we don't talk about enough. The racial trauma of being a racially marginalized person in this country, particularly a state like Iowa, where people are constantly reminding us only 3.4% of people in Iowa are Black people, and experiencing the tokenization that invariably comes as a result of that. And so there's a responsibility that we all bear, those of us who are racially marginalized or members of the queer community or removed from that default setting that I alluded to earlier in a considerable capacity. Whether we like it or not, we are constantly in a position where we are offering teachable moments to folks, and that's very exhausting. And can be very frustrating at times. And so, but we also need to remember, and I think this is the crux of my response, we need to make sure that we are cared for and attended to. As we are constantly being bombarded and asked to be the representative and that kind of thing, we can say no respectfully. We can, gratefully decline the request to join the board of directors and be that tokenizing presence. And we can also figure out ways to articulate the why behind the decline, because again, that's a teachable moment. And making clear to folks that our intent is to ensure that they grow as citizens of the world and have grow in their understanding of people that are different from them. And that can't happen if you're constantly tokenizing people that are different from you. And so I know that's hard, that it can feel hard to do, saying no can feel very difficult, but it can also be a powerful learning experience for people.